Everybody, alright, so it is week 37 and 6 days. You'd think since I'm doing these daily I wouldn't have to think about that, but apparently I do. So, I'm again reporting to you from my bed because I'm just here. What I've done is, because my feet were swelling so much every time I was sitting at my desk at my workstation upstairs, I moved my computer and my hard drive and everything down here. So when I get on my computer, I can have my feet up, which is really nice and helps with the swelling. So yeah, so it's easy. And then let's see what else. Back behind me is Grayson's bassinet. He'll sleep. That's the same one Sophie had. It's actually a pack and play, but it's one of those travel light ones. It's the same one we used with her. And so now it's his bed and it's all set up. And then I've got this bag here, which I'm going to explain in a minute, and my evening primrose pills, and a huge glass of water, and that's my hard drive back there, my extra hard drive, because if those of you who do vlogs and stuff, you need lots of hard drive space, so that thing there's 2 terabytes, I think, yeah, or maybe it's just 1.5 terabytes, I don't remember. But that's just one of many that I have. And I've got lotion because my feet swell, and then when the swelling goes down and then it happens again, it's making my feet sore. So I'm putting this on my belly and everything in my feet. So anyway, and then in Grayson's crib are some of the clothes from Christina that I'm still going through. So anyway, okay. Oh my gosh, you guys. So last night, we went to, yesterday, we went to a party during the day for a friend of ours whose son, it was his 2nd birthday. And it was so much fun, and Sophie had fun, and it was really hot though, and it was kind of partially outside party, so it was hot. And everybody there was just oh, when you get really, really pregnant, everybody's constantly thinks you're gonna have the baby right at that moment, so so they kind of were, I get that a lot now. And then anyway, it was fun, but like I said, again, hot. And then we came home, blah blah blah. Then we had another party that night for my sister-in-law. Her birthday's actually tomorrow. It's July 4th, but we had a party for her at this. It was we rented a private room where you got to do karaoke, and it was at a bar. It was really fun. It was such a cool thing because we had our own private room, we were sealed in, and so it was just, I don't know, I think there was 20 of us or something. It was so much fun though. It was really fun. But while we were there, I just started getting more and more Braxton Hicks. I just started getting them a lot, and I was singing a lot. I kept going up there and singing songs with my sister and Lindsay and Kyle and having fun, and I was having so much fun watching everybody. And it was funny because Kyle doesn't drink at all, period. He doesn't drink. He doesn't think there's anything wrong with it. He just doesn't drink. He doesn't like it. And then even when I'm not pregnant, I rarely drink, just rarely, because I don't know. I mean, I just don't drink that much. And when I do drink, it's usually something like a margarita. So Kyle and I just aren't, I don't know, it's just we aren't huge drinkers, but my sister and I always joke that we don't have to drink to loosen up, because we just get, when we're having a really good time, we get really silly and we have fun. And anyway, that was the kind of state we were in. It was just really fun, right? And I remember I was teasing the waitress because she was I was can I get a Sprite? And she was a Sprite? And I was yeah, can I get, and I was wait, I'll be crazy. I was make it a Shirley Temple, which is just Sprite with, cherries or whatever. And she was so just Sprite and cherry? And I was yeah. And she's that's it? And I was kind of yeah, did you not see my belly? I was I'm trying to joke with you. Anyway, I was trying to tease her. I was yeah, I'm totally going to be wild and get a Shirley Temple, and it's making a joke. And you could tell she was kind of what? But anyway, it was funny. And okay, so this was hilarious. So when we got to the karaoke bar, there was this little old lady who's like, I guess one of the owners, which was really weird because it was this kind of hip bar, and then they had, like I said, these private party rooms, and this little short tiny little old lady, I mean old lady, she was like chain smoking when we walked in. And I didn't even know you could. I guess because it's just a bar, you can smoke in there. But most places where we live, like you're not allowed to smoke inside. But I guess you can in bars. So anyway, so I walked in and she was like smoking, and she like got right in my face, and she was like, "What are you doing here?" She's like, "You can't drink," and like gestured at my belly, like while she's chain smoking in my face, and I was literally like, I didn't know if she was kidding or like I was like, is she making? I don't know what to say. And I was like, well, I can have a Sprite, like. And anyway, and then she was just kind of like, she just like laughed, and so she was kidding, but it was funny. And I don't know, I was just kind of like, all right, little hipster grandma. It was funny though. Anyway, but I kept getting more and more contractions, and like, and then my feet started to hurt really bad, like so bad. And then I don't know, I was just like, ugh. Hold on, I'm having a Braxton Hicks like right now. Oh, it's not a bad one though, it's just a little one. But anyway, so at like 11ish, I was like, Kyle, close out our tab that was like Sprite and bottled water. So because I was like, we gotta wrap this up. So he did, and then I said bye to everybody, and we went home. And on the drive home, I was just getting, like, I started to get painful cramps, you guys. Like, it was so painful. I was just kind of like, Kyle. And he was like, okay. And then I was worried I was getting a urinary tract infection because when I would go pee, it kind of burned a little, and I was like, great. That's like, that's the last thing I need to be happening. So we stopped at a store and got um, like cranberry tablets, like capsules or whatever, just in case. And anyway, we got home, and his parents had been watching Sophie, and so I was like, I'm not trying to be rude, but I gotta go to bed. I let Kyle talk to them, and came in here to go to bed, and I was really cramping bad, you guys, like so bad, and it hurt, like they hurt too, and I started to feel sick, and I was just like, oh, you know. So his parents left, and then Kyle came in, and I was like, please rub my feet, because my feet were killing me. So he did, and he's so nice, and you know, I fell asleep, and then I woke up. It was like midnight, you guys, or later. No, heck, it was almost like, it was like 12:30 or something. I don't know, it was late for us at least. And anyway, around 2, I woke up, like, because I was having such bad cramping. It was just so painful. It woke me up, and I was like, ah. So I got out of bed to try to go to the bathroom, and like I went to the bathroom, and this is really gross, this is TMI, but I started to have like diarrhea, which is gross, and that's not common for me to have, so I was like, okay. And anyway, let me just wrap it up by saying I had then all night. All night I was cramping. I couldn't sleep, and I kept having to go, like, I kept having, like, bowel movements that were not normal, and like just the horrible cramps, and I just couldn't sleep, and I couldn't get comfortable, and I'd get up and walk around, and my back was killing me. They were like going all the way to my back, and I was just like, okay, is this it? You know, am I going into labor, like, or am I just sick? Like, what is going on? And I didn't time them or anything because I just didn't feel good, and I was like, ugh. And finally, about 7 in the morning, I kind of like gave up, and I just went out of the room and was just trying to, I don't know, just like deal with it. And you know, Kyle had been up a couple times in the night with me because he was worried. And I know one time I like stood up, and I thought I was being really quiet, and he like jumped up, and and I was like, oh honey, just try to sleep. I was like, you can't help me, so you might as well get sleep, because if I am going into labor, I want you to be rested. And he was like, oh no, I was just worried. Like, he was just kind of on edge. So then at around, like I said, it's around 7:30 in the morning, I called my mom. I was like, Mom, do you think you could come over? Because it's like my house is a total disaster zone right now. I felt like it was. I guess really it's not that messy, but I think I'm just like having that nesting urge, and I told Kyle, I was like, I'm not gonna have this baby with the house the way it is. And he was like, okay. So my mom and dad were gonna come over and watch Sophie while Kyle cleaned, and I was gonna take a bath and try to relax and try to sleep and see if the cramping would stop, and if not, I was like, I'll start timing them. So anyway, basically what happened was my mom came over. Um, my dad didn't because he actually wasn't feeling good. My mom came over and she played with Sophie, and Kyle picked up the house, which as we were saying later, he said, yeah, it took me all of like, 20 minutes. Like the house isn't that dirty. I think it's because I have piles of clothes everywhere. We have our laundry piled up and we have to do, because normally I do the laundry, and since I wasn't feeling good, I didn't do the laundry. And then, I've got like piles everywhere of the clothes I'm going through from Christina. So I feel like the house looks messy, but it's really not that bad. It just seems that way. But anyway, so Kyle was awesome though, and my mom was awesome of her. And so the cramping started to die down, and I was kind of like, okay, I guess it's stalling out or whatever. And I got in a warm bath, and it felt really good, and my cramping like totally started to die down, and it was the best I'd felt in hours. And I had a towel rolled up behind my head, and I totally fell asleep in the bathtub. Not for very long, but that's like crazy for me to do. And Kyle came in and was like, "That's not safe." And that's the first thing I remember him saying. He was like, "That's not safe." So I got out of the bathtub and I came to bed, and I just like crashed. Like I totally just like fell asleep. So, and then when I woke up, I was still having some cramping, but I'd say they're more like the Braxton Hicks. Like they weren't hurting me in my back, and they weren't that painful, and I could talk through them. And yeah, so I guess I don't know if I was just like, I don't think I don't know. I don't know if I was sick last night or if like I overdid it, so I had like, I don't know. It seemed like pretty like it seemed kind of like normal labor, but it was weird though because like with the Braxton Hicks, I'm very much aware of how much my stomach tightens up. Like I'm very aware of that, and with these, I was more aware of the pain because I mean my stomach was getting really tight too because obviously it was contracting some, but the pain was what I noticed more. So they did too, guys. And I was kind of irritated later. I was making, I was joking about it, but I was just like, really? I was like, if I'm gonna have these painful, you know, and nauseating, because that was the other thing too. Besides like having to go to the bathroom like crazy and all that stuff, it was like I was also nauseated. Like they were making me feel like I was gonna throw up, which is why I had this bag. Like had that bag beside me. I was like, just in case I get sick. And so, but I was like, if I'm gonna have all of that, it should be at least real. But yeah, it totally stalled out. So whatever was happening, but it was like, yeah, like 7 hours of it or something. I don't know. It was a long time, you guys. It was crazy, and I can't believe how Oh, and they were, like I said, I wasn't timing them, but they were happening so often. Like it was just like coming and coming and coming, and I felt like I couldn't get a break. And then it just started to die out, and now. No, and so for the rest of the day today, I've been having, I still have been having the Braxton Hicks kind. Like I'm getting one right now again. I've already had a couple in this video, but like they're just not that bad, especially compared to the ones last night. Like now I'm just like, well, whatever. The ones this morning and last, like nothing hurts compared to those. So, but anyway, but I've been having those, regularly throughout the day. So. But I hope that whatever craziness was going on last night, that activity was happening down below. I will tell you guys that after it kind of died out, I was like, I still have to walk, and my pelvis area hurt so bad. And I was like, and so low, like it hurts really bad. And I was just like, okay, maybe he dropped even more. I don't know, because it's, whatever. So yeah, that was my crazy exciting thing. And but it was funny because I wouldn't last night, like in the morning when it was happening, I wasn't letting, I don't know why, just part of me knew it wasn't real. I don't know how to describe it. Like I just knew it wasn't, I just didn't feel like I was actually going into labor. So I never really got excited about it. But I will tell you guys today, I was, like I said, I was going through those clothes that my friend got me again, and I was like looking at them, and I just got this feeling all of a sudden, this like emotional feeling where I was just like, I really want to meet him. Like I really want to hold my son. Like I'm really excited. So that was a pleasant thing, and I don't know. And Sophie, she's just been so cute today, and I've been feeling like extra sentimental. Like I've been giving her like a billion hugs more than normal, and I've been giving Kyle a billion hugs more than normal, and I hugged my mom for like 10 minutes straight, and just feeling all like emotional and like in love with my family. So Yeah, it was awesome. But Kyle was really cool, and he picked me up this. There's this little boat boutique type sandwich place, like really delicious food, and he picked me up some soup and like a grilled chicken sandwich with like avocado on it, and it was so good. I was like, oh, because I didn't really eat anything until then, and so it really hit the spot. But okay, so that was my crazy day, you guys. I thought, oh, having another one. Whew. So I thought it might be it this morning though. I thought I might be coming on to be like, hey, hey. So okay, so speaking of that, I wanted to let everybody know it's the same thing with Sophia. You can like when we go into labor, I will update on Twitter and Facebook, and you guys can follow what's happening there. We did the same thing with Sophie, and so I always put the links to those things in my information bar below. But yeah, go follow us on there or whatever, because that'll be the first place we update. And I'll try to do updates from my phone while we're in labor, but I'm not going to promise that we will. But we will update to Twitter, Facebook. So that's where you can check if something's happening. And you know how some people, like I've had some of you guys were like, oh, well, no news is good news. With us, like no news really is no news, because if something's happening, we'll tell people. Also, because we also have lots of family who, that's how they're going to find out. Like they're following us that way, so that we don't have to spend time texting them and everything. So yeah, in our case, if you don't hear anything, nothing's happening, because you will hear something. So yeah, so just go follow us there and check all that out and etc. Okay, so that was it. That was my long story about what was happening, and my feet are like itchy right now, which means they're probably swelling again. Yeah, they've been really poofy, you guys, and I've been having like, I don't know, like marks on my legs whenever I don't know, like I think I'm retaining just a bunch of water, so that's not cool. But oh wow, what can you do? Other than that, though, I feel a lot better now. I do. So that's awesome. And that's it for now. And tomorrow I'll have my 38 weeks. I've never been this pregnant, so that's really cool. And I will talk to everybody then. Okay, bye guys.